Now that we are past the November election, we look ahead to December.
Yes.
And I would like you to help me with something.
Okay.
I would like you to give me a better shorthand way to refer to fixing the charter than deconsolidation.
Well, that's easy because it's not deconsolidation.
There you go.
How about fix the charter?
Okay,
can you say that?
I think I could dive into fix the charter.
Okay.
All right. So what are some highlights of this? Because there's information from both sides why we should do it, why we shouldn't do it. This is important. It was rushed. I mean, there are like a million different factions of this.
Right.
Highlights from your point of view.
So I think one of the most important things is just the very form of government, right? We're a democracy, and so we want fair representation, equal representation. And right now on the city parish council, you have folks that are trying to both serve the city council, or the city rather, and the parish. Mm-hmm. And I would argue that it's not really serving either very well. Mm-hmm. I asked someone the other day, name your favorite parish council person. And they named someone, and, it's great. One of the 9 members who's doing a great job. And I said, what was the last thing that person did for the parish? And they couldn't give me anything. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's because they don't have the time and the energy to focus on the things we need focused on in the parish. And the things I think most of us think about are roads and drainage, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the things that really need a lot of attention in the parish. We have 9 folks on the council who care a lot about our city, care a lot about our parish, but really most of the things that come before them on a Tuesday night have to do with the city of Lafayette. And so you have a parish council all of a sudden, and you have 5 people, if this amendment passes, you have 5 people whose only job is to worry about the parish.
So where does funding come into it? Because there are some who would say the reason why you have more conversation about Lafayette is because Lafayette, though we're not rolling in the deep in the money, has a tax base, and the parish is struggling with what to do with annexation and everything else, getting those kind of projects done. Well,
to the extent that policy could help with any of those things, you'd have a parish council focused on that. But I would also argue, when this proposal was thought of, I think over the last 20 years when consolidation came to be, the parish had a funding problem then in the 90s. The parish has a funding problem today. This proposal is not attempting to fix that, is attempting to fix the representation issue.
Well, and you can't just create money.
Right.
I mean, there has to be a reason, and it has to be, okay.
But a parish council will also take a closer look at how the parish finances are spent, how the parish is prioritizing its needs, in a way that right now, all of those folks who are some of the smartest, most talented people I've had an opportunity to work with, they have 2 things they're trying to accomplish at the same time, and that's very challenging to put anybody in.
You're serving 2 masters.
Yes, exactly.
And that's a divided heart, and so it's very difficult to be able to get things accomplished.
Yes.
So the group fixed the charter.
Yes.
Now, this is not an end-all, be-all. If people vote for this, it's not going to make everything perfect.
Right.
It's not,
Wait a second. It's not. There aren't going to be yellow brick roads.
I'm still looking for the perfect public policy solution anywhere, right? Right.
So you guys are saying, look, let's fix the charter this way, this opportunity, and then the other things that need to get done, people that are representing the city, and then people who are representing the parish, that they will figure it out going forward. Obviously, there are other things that might have to be voted on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you're saying let's get the ball rolling and fix the charter. Is a group of people. Talk a little bit about your group. And for those who are interested, we do have a story on the website about the video that Fix the Charter came up with and released yesterday.
Yes.
So tell me who you guys are, who makes up your organization.
I think there's probably about 100 volunteers right now, give or take, and some at varying levels. I mean, there's some of us that probably send emails or talk about it every day, and there's others that are like, okay, on election day, I'm going to wear the T-shirt and I'm going to be out there, right?
Sure.
And so it's really just people who have come together who care about the future of the city and the parish. Some of us, you guys, I think both know that I worked for government for a while. Mm-hmm. So I, had the opportunity to see firsthand how the charter, can make just a government employee's job a little more challenging. And so I have a personal interest just because I care about the future of the city and care about the future of the parish. There are other folks who are, they might just be regular lawyers, bankers, folks, retired folks, students who just care about the future of our city and the future of our parish and think that this is one of the ways that we can solve our problems.
And again, guys, it's not the fix-all to end the world.
And
but
no one's saying it is. It's not, and no one's saying it is.
Right. That's right. And so it's a step forward. Now, why do we keep reiterating that? Because people we know, and, Carlee's always understood this, we present the information, right? And then people, they study it, they look at it, they look at us, then they look at other sources as well. And then they figure out that, we've got 1 month from today when we actually will go back to the polls. Actually, early voting starts much sooner than that.
Right.
That's right around the corner. And people are making up their minds for themselves and what they think is best. What kind of questions, you mentioned one of the questions that you answered.
Yeah.
What other kind of questions are people asking you? Is there fear, misunderstanding, not some certainties in areas? What kind of encounters do you get?
Most people kind of, when you talk about it from just a really basic democracy standpoint, and they learn that there are people who don't pay taxes, who get to vote on certain issues, and how that's really mostly, as far as I'm concerned, mostly unheard of in American forms of government. And so, when you say, look, our democracy was founded on this idea that, the people who pay taxes are the people who get to vote on something. And that's sort of the big thing that I think people take away. And they're like, okay, this gets us closer to that, right? And to what America was founded on. And so that immediately, kind of gets a lot of people seeing the logic in these changes. And like you said, it's not perfect, but Tuesday night, what did we have? 6 amendments to our Constitution pass the state constitution, right? We haven't had a major charter amendment since the charter was passed in 1992. We had a couple of technical amendments. And so, I would ask, we never thought in 1992 that we were passing a perfect document. Or at least I haven't talked to anyone who says that.
No, because there were so many questions at that time. I was actually just coming into news and kind of starting to really pay attention to local issues. And there was so much discussion about it then.
Right. And, the other thing, I think you said it, Rob, we've heard a few folks, say, oh, this has been fast. And, I think most issues really that come before the voters, in a lot of cases, feel fast. How long did you spend thinking and talking about any of the amendments that were up, right? But this has been an issue. We had a charter commission in 2011. There was a proposal that went before the City Parish Council in 2013 to address this.
So where it hasn't been the top issue that people are talking about publicly, these conversations have been happening on the council level for years.
Yes. Okay. And, this proposal is not that different. It is different, but it's not that different than the one that was proposed in 2013. It's just an iteration from there. So from the perspective of, if you've been sitting inside government or if you've been sitting inside the council office, it's been talked about. Right. It's been a real issue for a long time. And, I understand when you're a citizen that can feel frustrating. And honestly, when I was working in government, I would see that with issues frequently because people are often not involved until they are involved, and then they wish they had been involved for a long time. Yeah.
Sure.
And that's really difficult. And
right. And because everybody has lives and work and kids and all of those things.
Exactly. But the folks that this fixes a lot of the issues that folks have said are problems over the years, and I think those of us that are involved will want, if it passes on December 8th or when it passes on December 8th, we'll want to stay involved to make sure that it works and that it makes things better. It will make some discussions more challenging, but probably discussions that should be more challenging.
So where do we go from here? We've only got a month to go. I can't believe it's already November 8th.
Right.
So what is your group planning any other outreach between now and December the 8th?
Yeah, we are trying to get in front of every group, every organization. We have some churches that have invited us, and we want to talk to anyone, and we have a big enough group that we're usually able to accommodate. You want us there at Saturday morning at 8:30. You want us there Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We can make these things work because this is a really, I guess a complex issue that needs some explanation. We're going to do a few different events. We have a fundraising event this Sunday. We'll have a gumbo social the weekend before. The night before, we'll have kind of a pre-election event. So we're really just trying to like get people opportunities to come together, to learn more, and then trying to accommodate anyone who asks for a special type presentation. Obviously, we're going to do things like we did yesterday, use Facebook as much as possible and get the word out. And, because there's a lot of folks in Lafayette that
they have questions.
Sure. They have questions. Yeah.
We're joined by Carlee Alm-Labar from the group Fix the Charter. I want to ask a question before we wrap up, and that has to do with the mayor.
Yeah.
So we have a mayor president right now who is the ultimate. You want to talk about the board serving two masters. Yeah, they're at least a group that can vote on things with different things. Maybe you don't have that as much with a single person who has to, in the situation with the parking garage. Yeah. I mean, which just happens to be going on right now. Right. Has to really operate in both interests. Right. Where do you stand on the need for a mayor in Lafayette in addition to and have a separate parish president?
I think that the reason that the proposal came forward as it is because the voters didn't want to deconsolidate in 2011. And so I think that there was a real try to like, okay, if you don't want this, and I think it was Don Baquet at the time who really pushed against deconsolidation. And so, but Don Baquet at the time and many, many others like him said that doesn't mean we don't have things to fix, right? And so, this is our best attempt to make consolidation work. And I think the difference in the mayor-president role, the mayor-president will still serve two masters, and that will still be a hard job. However, the mayor-president will know he or she is accountable to a parish council and a city council. So in the case of the parish parking garage, if the mayor-president knows that he has to take the same deal to a parish council that he has to take to a city council, he's gonna make sure that he has negotiated that deal in a way that it can pass both councils.
Because you have actual people.
Devoted
to the interests of the parish.
Right. Okay, and so I think it may raise the level of difficulty for the mayor-president, but in a way that is probably needed for us to have fair representation for Lafayette.
So, and kind of expanding on the issue, let me make sure I understand. So, and as the new city council, this 5-member council, they could also decide that they're going to get their own person.
They can, as the amendments say, that they could propose that, and there's a lot of things that they could propose to put on the ballot, and we would have another charter amendment. It goes the charter amendments identify process that would go through, that it would get on the ballot, and the mayor and the parish council, I believe, would be involved for charter amendments. So, but those are all things that, this doesn't have to be the last fix either, just like 1992 wasn't supposed to be the last fix to our government.
Okay.
Carlee Alm-Labar, I hope we talk to you more before.
I'll come anytime.
I'll be honest, we have had these conversations in pieces with so many different people, but I don't know that we've had someone who's explained it in
comprehensively, I think,
and now we have the time because we always worry to confuse people who are going to vote in November looking for this. Right. Well, now this is the biggie that's on the upcoming vote if you live in Lafayette Parish, and in Lafayette especially, as well as the sheriff's tax is the other one.
That's right.
That's going to be on there as well. Carlee Alm-Labar, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate it.